Everybody, it's Steph from the Hot Moving Podcast. Minnesota Timberwolves stay alive, right? And being down 0-3 to the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, you got to give yourself hope, right? You want to avoid getting swept, and in order to do that, you got to take it one game at a time. You got to ignore history. Okay, even though history is massively stacked against them, no team has ever come back from 0-3 down, right? But you got to block it all out. And especially after today, Rudy Gobert getting flamed up by Kendrick Perkins. Yikes, saying that he has tarnished the Defensive Player of the Year award. Not saying that's bulletin board material, but I'm sure it came through Rudy Gobert's ears. So, look, they got the job done, right? Listen, all these games in this series has been really close, have damn near come to the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game. This time around, the closers for Dallas, Luka and Kyrie, who've been closing these games out, weren't able to come through. It got close, but the Wolves were able to be the ones to close with Anthony Edwards, who had a huge game, right? He had a huge game, 29 points, but he had his running mate, who should have been his running mate, playing like this throughout the series. Otherwise, we have a different outcome right now. We'd probably be saying the Wolves are up, or the series could be tied, right? And that's Karl Anthony Towns, Mr. 1,500 shots, or he says he takes up to 1,500 shots. And, you know, he made 4 out of 5 threes, and all those three-pointers came at critical times, man, especially late. So big ups to Karl Anthony Towns. You know, I'm gonna give him his props, but I really don't want to give him too much props, because like this is the type of productivity you should have been given on a nightly basis in this series with Anthony Edwards, right? Anthony Edwards is too young to try to lead this charge and do it all on his own against this very talented backcourt in the Dallas Mavericks, man. So the series gets extended. Total team effort. Kyrie Irving didn't have his best game. Okay, look, Dallas is like, you know, it's going to be up and down every now and then with Kyrie and Luka. Luka has been consistent. I mean, he had a triple-double, phenomenal game, right? Not that efficient from the floor, okay, but still a triple-double, still really, really good. So, not Kyrie's best game, okay? Mavericks are due to have a bad game. The problem with this now is that on the Dallas Mavericks side is this series getting extended. Right now, you got to go on the road. I'm sure they feel more than confident to go on the road in Minnesota and beat them, considering that they've done it twice already in this series. But you run the risk of potential injury, right? You saw that fluke accident where Lively got knocked upside the back of the head by Karl Anthony Towns' knee. Okay, you run the risk of fluky things happening, as most likely the Dallas Mavericks are going to get to the NBA Finals. Right, and you want to get there almost 100%. Okay, so kudos to the Wolves for winning this game. They had to win this game. They were too talented to get swept. I'm not surprised the Wolves won this game, just because they're really good, right? They've been in all these games. At some point, a game had to go their way. Okay, so outside of Edwards and Towns, they got a decent contribution from McDaniels. Gobert played well, 10 rebounds. He got double-double. He played well, but foul trouble, right? So the problem with the Wolves is Towns and Gobert, they get in foul trouble a lot. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You're playing physical. If you're not getting fouls, you're not trying. But some of these fouls were very stupid. Okay, so they got to be careful with that going into Game 5, right? If you want to have a chance, you need those guys out there. So sometimes it's okay to just contest a shot. Let it go, okay? They need you down the stretch as opposed to being fouled out. And luckily, when Karl Anthony Towns got fouled out, it didn't come back to bite him, because it was starting to feel that way. I was like, okay, here come that surge from the Mavericks. It was all fun for the Wolves. Now Dallas will go ahead and close this thing out, right? But the Wolves are just too talented to get swept. Hard to beat a team like this 4 in a row. This is obviously this Western Conference matchup is significantly much tougher than the Boston Indiana Pacers series, even though people can make the case that the Indiana Pacers should have no business getting swept as well. I think in that series, you can thank Rick Carlisle and just some of the coaching blunders and mental mistakes that team did to get swept, right? You can make the case that team could be up 2-1 or 3-1, something like that, right? Or 2-2 at the least, right? But no, so Boston's resting and Dallas has to take the show back to Minnesota. And maybe Lively will play, right? We'll see. I mean, they rested Lively. Maybe Lively could have played today, but they rested him. And Dallas was looking good. They came back in this game. They weren't down too much. They hung around, and once Dallas hangs, Dallas is the type of team that literally you give them an inch, they're gonna bust that door wide open. And it was looking like that, and we were about to see a collapse from the Wolves, but Anthony Edwards closed it out. He did superstar things, right? He had a triple-double, almost a triple-double, played phenomenal. But the key is he got help finally, right? Mr. 1,500 shots finally showed up. You know, can you duplicate this at home, right? Ignore the outside noise about coming back from 3-0. It's one game at a time. Can they do this? Can they get it done? In that locker room, they got to give themselves hope, but they can't think about the multiple games they have left. They got to take it one game at a time. It seemed like they did that tonight. Edwards, I was like, Edwards is that nice of a player. He'll get you one game at least, especially in a situation like this. He's good to get you one. If he's that great of a player, he's going to get you one game, and he did that. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this game. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.